Hello everybody, welcome to Shyam's Storytime. Today I'm going to share with you another story of King Vikramaditya. This story is called Husband versus Brother. Are you ready to listen? The vetal flew back to the tree. King Vikramaditya went once again to the tree, pulled the cords, he hung it on his shoulders, he walked towards the cremation ground. Vetala told the king one more story. The story goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a very handsome man. His name was Shiva. Shiva was an oil merchant. So he traveled from one village to the other, often on business. Once he came to a village where he met a very beautiful girl. Instantly, Shiva fell in love with this girl. He wanted to marry her. He found out all the details about this girl. He got to know that her name was Durga. Durga had her mother, father, and a younger brother named Ramu, and they were a very close-knit family. But Shiva did not know how to approach her or ask or propose to the parents about the wedding alliance. So he came back home. He was very confused. He didn't know what to do. But his heart was with this girl, and somehow Shiva wanted to marry Durga. He spent a few days in that village on his business, and on one occasion he visited the Kali temple in the village. Now, Shiva was a great devotee of goddess Kali. So that night when he went to the Kali temple, there was nobody else. So he prayed so much to Kali and said that somehow he want to get married to Durga. So he kept asking blessings from the goddess so that their wedding could happen. Suddenly, without even realizing what it was, Shiva just said, if goddess Kali, you make this wedding happen, I will just offer myself to you. Just in a fit, Shiva made up his mind just like that to Kali. What he meant was, if the wedding happened, he would just kill himself and offer him to goddess Kali. After a while, he returned home. He was not able to focus on any of his work. All the time, he kept thinking about Durga. He came back to his own home. His father noticed that Shiva was not his usual self at all. He used to be such a bubbly person. But all the time nowadays, he is very sad. Looks like he is in depression. So the father asked Shiva, what is going on? You are not your usual self. Shiva said, my dear father, I want to get married to this girl. Her name is Durga, but I don't know how to propose. Father said, you could have told me before. I will arrange for the wedding. Don't you worry. He said he traveled to that village where Durga lives. He met with Durga's parents, spoke about this alliance. Durga's parents and her brother Ramu, they were all very happy with the alliance. They all agreed to it. So the entire bride party, they all traveled to Shiva's village. There was a big wedding that happened. Now the bride, Durga, was also very closely bonded with her brother Ramu. They were both twins and they had always had each other's company. But today, Durga is married and she will be staying with her husband in the husband's place. Ramu and the parents went back to their village. A few months passed. Shiva and Durga were leading a very happy life. Ramu was back there with his parents. He missed his sister so much. There was a village festival in goddess Kali's temple. So the father said, let's go and invite our daughter and son-in-law for the village festival. They will have a good time. So Ramu came and then he invited his sister and brother-in-law, that is Durga and Shiva. He said, come, let's all go back to our village. There is a festival there. Shiva agreed to it and he came along with his wife and Ramu back to Durga's village. Now, after their married life, Shiva had totally forgotten about the vow he took in goddess Kali's temple. During this festival, Shiva had a chance to visit the Kali temple once again. Durga, Ramu and the other family members were outside. As soon as Shiva entered the temple, he immediately remembered, oh my God, I promised the goddess that I will offer myself to her if she made this wedding happen. Goddess Kali has made this wedding happen. Now I have to offer myself. One moment, he did not think about his wife. He did not think about his other family members. He just picked up a big sword that was kept there, cut his head off. He fell down, body and head separately. Outside, all the family members were waiting. When Durga noticed, oh, where is my husband? Ramu, can you go and call your brother-in-law? She sent her brother inside the temple. Ramu came inside and he was aghast. His sister's husband, Shiva, was in two pieces, head and body separately. He could not bear it at all. He did not have the heart to come and tell his sister that her husband is no more. Out of extreme grief, he just picked up the same sword and cut his head also off. This feels very dramatic, right? But that's what happened. So there were now two bodies and two heads. Durga waited and waited for her husband and then her brother. Both of them did not turn up. She decided she will come and look for them herself. She entered the temple. She was aghast looking at both her husband and brother who have died. She could not digest this at all. Immediately she picked up the sword and told goddess Kali, if my husband and my brother that are so dear to me are not in this world, let me kill myself. And she was about to chop off her head. Goddess Kali appeared in front of Durga and told her, don't you kill yourself. I will bring alive your husband and brother. Just take their heads and attach it to their bodies. They will come alive, said goddess Kali. Durga was so happy. She thanked the goddess. Immediately she picked up the heads and in a hurry she joined her husband's head to her brother's body, brother's head to the husband's body. Both of them have come alive now. Now, Vetal is telling the story to King Vikramaditya. Vetal's question was this: who should be Durga's husband? Now, there are two bodies with two different heads. Who should be her husband? King Vikramaditya thought for a while. He has to give an answer, otherwise, his head will burst into a million pieces, is it not? King Vikramaditya said, the one with the husband's head is Durga's husband. So Vetala asked how? Because the brain is the most important part that commands all the activities of the human being. So the brain is in the head. So the one that has the husband's head should be Durga's husband. Vetala was happy with the answer, immediately disengaged itself from the king and flew back once again to the drumstick tree. King Vikramaditya, being a perseverant person, he started to walk back to the tree once again to bring the Vetal. Did it tell him another story? Yes, it did. But wait for the next episode for that. Did you enjoy today's story? If you did, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shyamsstorytime. You will have access to all the stories that I upload. Every Saturday, there is a story in English on King Vikramaditya. On Sundays, there is a story in Tamil. This comes from Panchatantra. You can watch and enjoy all these stories. My name is Shamala and I am a passionate storyteller. I will meet you in the next episode.